Hello everyone, my name is Brandon Darrell Beck. I'm going to be changing my name to Brandon Stanley San Angelo, and today is February 19th, 2026. I'm feeling a little sleepy. I know it's already 2:30, but I'm still tired. I took a shower and I put on lotion, which I significantly hate putting on lotion. I hate lotion, but I need to because it's winter and my skin is very, very dry. I've been thinking a lot about forgiveness, and I've been thinking a lot about, um, you know, it's interesting making these videos because lately I've been thinking, speaking out loud and having kind of a little bit more of a voice. I've mentioned it a million times, but it's so hard for me to get out of my head. Even when I am practicing actively mindfulness, it's hard for me to um, actually not think about anything. And so, what I usually will do is I'll just focus on what's actually happening in the moment. So, in the shower, when I was like, because when I wake up in the morning and I'm taking my shower, I'm still overwhelmed and I'm still tired. But I I'm like, okay, don't think about this. Just slow down. Just focus on what's going on. So I'll have shampoo in my hands and I'll be running it through my hair, and I'll have my bar of soap and I'll be running it over my skin, and I'll just be focusing on how that feels, how it smells. I'll step out of the hot water and I'll breathe and I'll feel cool, and just having this time to practice the moment um, kind of puts a lot of things more into perspective because for 30 years, I'm 30 years old, um, I have been just stuck up in here, just thinking about this, that, the other, and then one thought leads to another thought, and it leads to another thought. It's just like my concentration is just insane. It's just constantly going, and the thing that I'm not thinking about is the moment, which is why practicing this mindfulness has been so important to me this past week that I've been doing these videos. Um, but I've noticed a lot of significant feelings of pleasantness. Um, having, just doing the dishes and not listening to any music or podcasts and just doing the dishes has been really helpful. I've noticed that as um, I'm taking care of my physical environment too, it's something that I'm constantly stressed out about. Like, I'm always stressing about cleaning and making things perfect and letting go of that idea of perfect and just cleaning um, is really meditative too. I like I love to clean, but then I walk into a space that desperately needs to be cleaned, and I'm overwhelmed, and I will clean, but I'm cleaning out of anxiety rather than enjoying the moment. Like I said yesterday in the video when I was just killing Anku and OSRS, I just was sitting there. I didn't have any number that I wanted to kill. I just was sitting there clicking on them, and however many I did, and I wasn't worried about a goal. I wasn't worried about the drops. I wasn't worried about anything. The only goal I had was I just wanted to hang out and vibe. When I say killing Anku, it sounds really violent, and I suppose it is. We are killing a monster, but I just think they look cool, and they respawn, and it's a game. Um, and I just like hanging out in the fourth floor of the stronghold. But with this new perspective of mindfulness and me practicing mindfulness daily, I've been thinking a lot about what it is that I'm trying to even accomplish. Like, what is the goal other than to slow down? And I've been making a lot of self-realization. I've always been incredibly introspective, but not necessarily thinking in the healthiest way. I just want to smile really quick to see if YouTube chooses this thumbnail. Let's get into the camera. And smile. Oh wait, let me fix my eyebrows. Natalie hates it when my eyebrows are all crazy. Because they are. I'm gonna smile. Let's do a shocked face. Okay, I'll see if they choose anything, and I noticed that they choose a lot of thumbnails with when I'm smiling. So when it comes to like self-actualization or kind of making these like realizations about myself and trying to take accountability and responsibility for feeling these feelings appropriately, actually feeling them, not disregarding it, or if I have like an uncomfortable thought that might challenge myself in some way, instead of just like not thinking about it, actually taking the time to think about it, and then see if there's any insight into that, and then letting it go, rather than just forcing it out of my brain, taking the time to think about it rationally. I'm constantly anxious, constantly worried, and so when I have an unsettling thought like, oh my gosh, I really hope I didn't hurt my sister's feelings when I got off RuneScape today, and thinking about it, actually challenging myself, and that's such a silly thought. You have a good relationship with your sister, and yeah, you guys are related, and you don't get along 100% of the time. I'll challenge it, but thinking about challenging thoughts responsibly, with a good emotional awareness, is a lot different than having a thought and then feeding it, feeding it, feeding it with more anxiety, because then you go into like the spiral that just like gets you more and more anxious, more and more upset, and the thoughts aren't rational. You're not challenging them appropriately. You're making yourself even more worried, and having those thoughts and thinking about them rationally and thinking about them with a clear head is hard. It's harder than feeding into it, but it is rewarding. It's been rewarding challenging myself. Like, nobody wants to think that they're a bad guy, and I don't think I'm a bad guy. I just think I'm a human, and humans are complicated and messy, and so the more I try to accept that and to rationally think about that, I'm making a lot more self realizations. And a lot of what I've been thinking about lately, it started the other day when I was talking about karma. I still feel the same way I do about karma, but I was thinking about like this cosmic, um, you know, plan, right? Like, if I were to assume how the cosmic works, that it probably isn't true, and karma feeds into that. But I was thinking about like this, um, um, getting hurt by people and having my feelings hurt by people, but finding it to be to forgive. And I'm not ready to speak publicly about why I've been so hurt recently. It's a very difficult conversation to have with myself, and even broadcasting it publicly is even harder. But I was thinking today in the shower, it was like, obviously this is something that I need to talk about, because I'm thinking about it, and I'm talking to myself about it. I'm listening to myself, and I'm also thinking about it. And so like, obviously it is something that I need to think about, and I came to the conclusion it was like something that I already knew, is like I just need to forgive. It's not worth my energy to be hurt any longer. And I was thinking about it, and it's not just like, okay, I forgive you. It's like, well, why do I forgive them? And it was like, well, the actual situation that transpired was not how it should have been handled. The repercussions of how badly I was hurt was not, it wasn't on purpose. The situation was handled poorly, and I was very hurt, very significantly hurt because of it. But because the situation was handled poorly, the way the situation was handled makes sense in terms of reality. It's a difficult situation to handle, right? And so, like, the way that it was handled wasn't necessarily handled correctly, but, you know, it makes sense. And when I think about the specific people that specifically hurt me, I think about it and I was like, none of them except for one actually had any bad interest. Everybody that was involved wanted the best for me personally. It was only one person that chose to hurt me. And because of that, I can forgive everybody. It's still hard for me to forgive the person that actively chose to hurt me, and I think I need to do a lot more thinking about that. Um, but I do want to forgive them. I'm not ready to, but I do want to. And I think maybe when I feel more comfortable and I make more sense of my feelings, because you got to realize I've been trapped inside myself my entire life. And for me to be so open and vulnerable is very difficult for me because my core belief, my in my core, I just have to hide inside myself. So for me to speak vulnerably like this is very difficult. And I'm sure as I work through 30 years of me hiding inside myself, avoiding and hiding and not looking at the reality of the world, there's going to be a lot that I'm going to be working through. However, as I continue to work hard on that, I'm sure I'll be able to be more vulnerable and personal on camera, and then I can actually go into the specifics of the things that ail me. I've been making progress. I'm still struggling. It's not a lot of progress all at once. It's little tiny baby steps. And from when I first started making this vlog, I felt better. But it's not like I just, had a key and I unlocked the be the better version of yourself right now. I'm still struggling to wake up in the mornings. Mornings are the hardest part for me. I'm still struggling with my eating disorder, and I'm still struggling with screens and addiction. And it's almost as if there's like different like versions of myself. There's version that is seeking the company of addiction, and then there's addiction, and then like after I get the addiction, it's the shame that follows afterwards. But I'm being kinder to myself, and I'm starting to acknowledge these feelings, and I don't want them to control me anymore. I hate watching a video and then like, oh, I need dopamine, and then I can go into the kitchen and eat literally anything that I want, and I just eat until I'm sick. I hate feeling like I can't control that, and I have to acknowledge that my addictions are stronger than I am. And so I am still struggling. But there's been a lot of peace that came with these thoughtful exercises. And I'm going to continue to work on them. Because even if everything was fixed and I was like the best version of myself, I didn't suffer from any food addiction or any screen addiction or any nicotine addiction or caffeine addiction, if I literally was perfect, right, I would still be a human being and I would still be messy, and so there would still be a real life that I had to live, and I would still have to be responsible for myself, and I would still have obligations and responsibilities that outside of myself. And so even if I was quote unquote perfect, I still wouldn't be perfect. And I don't know what that kind of version of myself would look like, but I'm excited to continue to work towards a healthier version of myself. I need to actually bite the bullet and start working out. I've been going out and I've been walking a lot more, and I've been taking the dog out a lot more. I've been not taking naps. It's been really difficult for me, but I haven't been taking any naps throughout the day, just so I can try to get any semblance of a better sleep schedule. Yeah, um, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. There is a lot of mental um, illness and depression and suicidal ideation. It's not pretty, and it's really, really difficult. But I'm very proud of myself for all the progress that I was able to make. And I think as we get to know each other a little bit more in the future, I'd be more than happy to talk about it openly. And I'm kind of excited to. I, I want to be seen, and I think that's why I'm making these videos anyway. But, I think I've rambled on long enough. I hope you enjoyed the vlog for today. I hope you have a good rest of your day. And I think I'll maybe not tomorrow because I'm really busy tomorrow, but I'm gonna try. I really do want to start like actually editing these. They're fun to make, and I want to actually put in more effort into them. Anyway, I really hope you have a good rest of your day. Goodbye, everybody.